these two rotted corners. This is rotted. I don't know if you can see. This is rotted and this is rotted. So I'm going to fix that. So here's a close-up so you can see what I'm talking about. It's basically two soft rotted pieces of cedar that I'm going to cut out of there and put a new piece in. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to take out and save the nails. Ideally, the boards are made out of cedar. I would have liked to drill and screw them into the joists underneath, but I thought it would be smarter to just reuse what's there already. All right, so the idea is to pull that up, and then there are 2x4 joists underneath. So a 2x4 is actually, the 2-inch part is actually 1.5 inches. So the idea is to cut it so that there's 3/4 of an inch of the existing cedar on that joist, and the other 3/4 of an inch will be the new cedar. So there's your 1.5 inches. And notice before I cut it, I stuck something underneath to raise that cedar up so I wouldn't cut through the decking underneath. You basically want it above the height of the rest of the decking. All right, so there's that. All right, there's half of that. Good. Now I'm taking out the nails, and I'm going to take out the other piece, or the other half of that board, I should say, all the way up to the length of the piece of cedar I pre-cut. So I guess it's 1632, I guess 64 inches across. All right, so here I'm moving the camera so you can see, same thing. Lift it up without breaking it. I tried to pry it from both sides. There we go. Got that up. I'm going to place something under there when you cut through that. Obviously, it can't be at the same height as the rest of the deck. You'll cut right through the deck. So you have to raise it up kind of like that. So when you cut, you're only cutting that board. So what I actually did was I test fitted the piece of new cedar underneath, and I actually drew a line so I knew exactly what to cut. So what I'm doing here is I'm test fitting the piece that I pre-cut. The idea is I want to make sure it lands on that joist and there's still enough room for the remaining piece of the other cedar to land on the other half of the joist. And it looks like it fits. So I'm just going to score a line where I have to cut and then cut it. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the new piece of cedar so I don't cut through that like a fool. Put a pry bar underneath the existing piece of cedar to raise it up a little bit. There we go, so I don't cut through the deck. And just cut to that line I just drew. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay. All right, home stretch. So it's easy right there to see what I've been talking about, where you have that joist underneath is supporting half of the old cedar, and the other half of it is supporting the new piece of cedar. So when I test fit it, you'll see I can screw both pieces into that joist underneath on both ends. You don't want to leave anything hanging where it's not supported. There we go. So that fits in there pretty well. Then we'll just screw it down and we're good to go. For me, it was important to pre-drill this because I definitely didn't want the end of them to split and I want to make sure I was getting right into the joist underneath. And like I said, I don't want to split the ends of the wood. Always a good idea to pre-drill. I'm just simply here fastening both ends, and I'm fastening it where the joists were in the middle. And that's it, then it's done.